Hey man, I'm Dan,
I'm Kody.
and you're listening to the Dan and Kody podcast, episode 275.
Hold on tight, because your pants and my pants are getting wet together. What's that, a hose? Nope.
It's love.
This is the Dan and Kody podcast.
This is it. Right here, Kody. You put on those headphones and you go to work.
Why are you yelling?
This is where our message is heard. It's time to get hype. Say it with me.
What are we saying?
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
It's Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Get some.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Hey man,
Hey, yep. Get
how
on
you
in
doing?
there.
How you
I'm
doing,
good, man.
sir?
How are you doing? How are you doing, Dan? We are
Man.
in the first, full week of December, I guess, right now.
Yeah, basically.
I guess it was a couple days last week. Full week of December, hitting the holidays hot.
Hanukkah's a wrap already.
Is it officially a wrap? Did it
It's
end
done.
today?
It is. Hanukkah's over. It's so over.
Oof.
Happy Hanukkah, though, to everybody who celebrated. All my Jewish friends and families.
All of my Jewish friends. I've got a couple Jewish friends. So happy
Yeah.
Hanukkah to y'all. Dan, give it
What's
to me
up?
straight, man. What's the Hill 1-1, as they say in your household?
Well, the Hill 1-1 is we're in this state of decorated for Christmas, but it's still like a little bit of finishing touches on things. So like there's some boxes out. There's some decorations kind of scattered. We're not quite like done. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not decorated and put away. There's still some things lingering, and that part of the holiday kind of like pisses me off.
It's a lot. We've got trees lit up. We've got
Dope.
mantle with lights.
Dope.
It's a good feel in the home. I think it adds a nice homey appeal to
The Christmas decor is key to make you feel good.
What percentage, like how into it do you need to really feel good? I mean, I think you can get by with just a tree.
You could. Yeah, absolutely you could.
I've been
But-
into people's houses where it looks like they've just decided it looks like their room mated with just a bunch of elves, and then it just created this smattering of just, here's some bushy stuff, here's some lights, it's just too festive. Is there too festive to you, Dan? Too festive?
Yes, there is too festive. There's way too festive.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
we're there. I've done a lot of upgrades to the outside lights this year.
Okay.
I want to try to like build it up. I had hopes of getting on the roof this year, but I got to the gutter. I lit the gutter.
You did.
That
You
was
did
it.
a gutter lighting?
I did some gutter, and we finally dipped our toe into the blow up outside doll decorations.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of feelings about blow up things that you put in your yard, but my son really loves them. We had a neighbor.
T-Rex.
You had a T-Rex?
T-Rex with a Santa hat on.
Oh, that's interesting. At least
Yeah.
that's like kind of not festive, but festive. We have a neighbor that bought one of those giant skeletons. He bought 2 of them for Halloween.
Oh, like the freaking like
The ones with
12-foot ones.
yeah, that had the light up eyes and they like follow you.
And Fitz was tripping on them.
Fitz was like, skeleton, 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 and he was loving it. And then we thought, well, they're going to take him down. But what they did is they put a Santa Claus jacket on one of them and left him up. Give him
Oh,
a Santa hat.
perfect.
So now it's this giant skeleton that's festive and ready for the year. And I think it's actually a pretty brilliant move. Pretty
I
brilliant.
love that. Dude, there's you know when you walk into my house and you're upstairs, there's this sort of like I don't know what you call that, but it's like a awning. It's like enough space to do nothing with, but
What do
it's
you mean?
like there's that banister for upstairs, and then there's like a little landing spot
Yes.
up like by where Jenny's like work
Yes,
office.
that's like kind of yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
We had that whole thing. We had this like Christmas village, just like miniature light up Christmas village on there with like fake snow all over it. We left it up 365 days. We just left the
Really?
motherfucker. Yeah, and we didn't light it. And then this year we were just like,
Turn it
clink,
on.
turned it
Turn
on.
it on.
It's
Okay.
too hard to get to it, and no one really sees it. Is that cheating?
No, I don't think so.
No.
If nobody sees it, collects dust, whatever, you hit it on, yeah, no big deal. I think that's okay.
Question for you: holiday cheer. All right. Your goal is it. You ever see Apollo 13?
Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Of course I've seen Apollo 13.
You know how like towards the end they're in like a think tank, and they've got to like figure out how to like power up the LEM with the least bit of power. They have to like conserve all the amps.
Yeah, so they determined to like how are they gonna switch things on because when they started on it kicks and adds more than they need. Yeah.
Okay, so with that mindset, the amps are like holiday necessities in someone's mind. What do you need? What is essential for Kody to be powered up into the Christmas spirit? You know what I mean?
What do I need to feel like I feel the festivities, like the
Yeah.
energy's there? I think
And you can pick like 3 things that'll get you like into your Christmas spirit.
okay. I'm gonna go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna go 3 things. Okay. One has to be the tree, and I know I kind of hit that off at the top, so I can't not have that.
You
I
need the
need the
tree.
tree. The tree needs to be present.
Yeah.
Tree needs to be present. My wife
Yeah.
would say stockings. Like she would say stockings are so important.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I would say so you need the tree to feel festive. Truthfully, I know I'm in Southern California, but I need snow.
Oh, you need that snow.
I need that snow. I need that snow to feel like the holiday is near, right? So I need that snow. And then I think last but not least, this is the most essential thing. I will never feel it unless this is there. And that is the Peanuts musical album by
Oh.
Giraldi that's like, it's all instrumental
Ding, ding,
with the
ding,
exception of I think
ding.
one song. If I have that album, it can be the middle of August, September. I throw that in and I'm all of a sudden I'm just like, ooh, Santa, where you at? Where you at, man? I need a little bit of them Santa jams. So yeah, I would say that is a big one.
So you left off presents,
Doesn't matter.
cookies,
Doesn't matter.
left off church.
Buddy, these are into church. Come on, get out of here.
Some people it's necessary. They're like, I
No,
gotta
like
go
I
to
get
church.
it. Like I would actually say if I did want to feel festive, midnight mass would immediately make me feel festive. Like, okay,
Yeah.
an hour of church from 12 to 1 a.m. Okay, that's pretty festive.
Midnight
Eve,
masses are intense, man. That's intense.
it's just late. I did it in high school like every year.
Oh,
There was somebody I went to high school with, and her family would, she'd be like, come to church at midnight, and I'd go to church, and it's like one of the few times a year where I'd ever go to church.
yeah.
Anyway.
No, since my mom's birthday is Christmas Eve, so she would always, for her birthday, she called the shots. So she'd be like, we have to go to, our church had a Christmas Eve service, and you'd be like, God damn it. Like, we gotta go to this thing?
Yeah.
This is what you want to do on your birthday?
Right.
And
Mm.
yeah. And it would suck because if Christmas was on a Sunday, boom, they would still have the Christmas service. The day after, the day
Oh
before,
yeah.
we had the freaking Christmas Eve service.
I mean, most cases, that's the way it goes, buddy. I think they'd still have service on Christmas.
Is Jesus getting in the way of Christmas?
I mean, it is supposed to, from a Christian standpoint, it is supposed to be about him, is it not?
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
His birth is a
Here,
big deal.
here's how I'm powering up my Christmas limb.
Do
Okay.
it.
I need the tunes. I need a steady flow of tunes of that holiday cheer.
Christmas when the snow's coming down.
Yeah, it's just got to flood in. Especially in Southern California, like you said, not cold.
I mean, the weather and the snow, man. Like, if it's not cold and there's no snow, like, how do
yeah,
you expect me to feel the festivities? Like,
yeah.
seriously.
There's pockets of neighborhoods with the lights, but you can't count on it. So you need that auditory Christmas
Yes.
vibe. Need
Yes.
that. Man, you made a great argument for the tree. Just in general.
I mean, I guess if you're a traditionalist, right?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a tree. There's people that could probably get away with some lights and like an elf on the shelf or whatever, but there's a lot of people that don't use the tree. I think the tree works because it's not necessarily maybe it's a Christian symbol that I'm unaware of, but it is kind of this uniform thing. And, you love Mother
Yeah.
Earth, Gaia, whatever it is, you
That
can
smell.
yeah, there's the smell to it. There's a piece of it, we have a fake tree, but it works great. We've used it like the last 2 or 3 years. Anyway,
Yeah, it pays for itself after like
1 year, man, because a real tree is like $60 to $100, and you can go
Dude.
out and buy a fakey for
I think
that
our tree
amount.
was like $1.25, man.
That's probably right. Yeah, you're
And
probably right.
so I'm going tree, music, and I need visual. I need the movies. I have a set of movies that must watch during the holidays. Those three things, Dan's in the spirit.
That's it. The
That's it.
movies.
I'm a sensory guy. I did hearing, sight, and
So no taste.
sound.
There's no taste.
Yeah, I don't need the I don't need the
Hearing and sound are the same thing, just so we're clear.
Oh yeah, and sight, visual.
I know you said hearing, sight, and
Yeah.
sound.
So the seven senses: hearing, listening, sound, and
Music.
Yeah,
No, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's definitely important to have those.
you
To set the tone for family, for friends, for loved ones, for the season, to get into a giving spirit. You need the giving spirit to enter your soul, and sometimes the pathway to that soul are the things that put you in that mode.
yeah. Get in
Merry,
there.
Merry Christmas, Dan.
Merry Christmas, Kody. So
So I had coming into today's podcast, I had this revelatory moment when I was driving, and I was thinking to myself, this is a great fucking topic. This is a topic that's going to change the world. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this before. And then I realized, I thought about this topic while I was driving, and then I didn't note it. And here I am. And I'm still trying to find what the topic was that was really, really good. And it had something to do with something or somebody. I can't remember. It was a very general idea. And I know this helps nobody.
your
And
topic was
fucking-
your topic was you had a topic and lost it.
I kind
This
of.
is
right
this
now.
is what's going on right now.
This is what's happening right now. And I had this topic, and it was very good. It was so good. Probably the best topic that there ever was.
The best topic.
Um,
Unbelievable. Was it unbelievable?
it was an unbelievable topic. The best topic ever. Nobody's ever seen a topic like this before.
You
one of
talked
the
to a
finest
couple people
topics.
about the topic, and they said that's a great topic.
Nobody really said that to me, but what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Let's
So I
find
mean,
it,
I'm
man.
kind of stuck here. I guess one of the things we can kind of talk about. Did you hear about So you know the kid in Michigan, this terrible story about this guy that's shot up everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
And
see that they arrested his parents?
yeah, and I think rightfully so, in my opinion.
Yeah, did you? So I'm listening to the this whole like behind the scenes, like the lead up to arresting these guys. They bought this kid the gun for a Christmas gift.
Let's true crime this motherfucker right now.
So
It's deserving.
they bought this kid the gun for Christmas. Like the day after Thanksgiving, they went to the gun store, bought this kid this like semi-automatic gun and said Merry Christmas to him, right?
Yeah.
Then this kid goes into the school and like he does these weird drawings that look like he's hurting students or killing students with the gun that he wanted. His
Cry for help.
mom, his mom on Twitter said, taking my son out for a little one-on-one time to try out the new Christmas present. Uh, you know, uh, dad said something about like, um, getting my son the gun for a Christmas present or something like that. So they did all of this, and then the school said, "Hey, we want you to come in because of we're concerned about your son."
Right. And like,
And
dude, not even figuratively, the writing on the wall. The writing was on the wall.
right, and they actually said, "We think you should take your son out of school," and they said, "No, that's okay." And he had even like apparently a teacher caught him looking for ammunition on a school website.
Yeah. And
And
they
the
were like, I'm
and the
concerned.
mom laughed at them, and then she basically texted to her son, "Next time, don't get caught doing it." Okay, nothing.
Absolutely
I
ridiculous.
guess there's nothing wrong with looking at ammunition online. I will say that there's nothing wrong with looking at ammunition online. So there was that, and then he drew these crazy killer drawings, and then he had his backpack with him at the time, which apparently had a gun in it. So then they fit. So the parents don't take him home. He's there at school. He then goes into the bathroom. And the next thing the security coverage knows is he walks out of the bathroom with a gun, kills 4 of his classmates, injures 7, something like that. Crazy, horrific shooting. And then the police department decides, aside from charging this kid for 4 first-degree homicide charges, they decide they're going to go after these parents because there's enough evidence, and they're going to charge them for involuntary manslaughter.
Good.
So then the parents go on the run. They're on the lam. They're running. I guess my question to you, like that's just kind of the story behind how it all happens. They end up catching these guys. They were hidden in an empty business building. There was a tip, an anonymous tip to the police department. That's how they caught him in Detroit. And then they were arrested.
Yeah.
And then they were arraigned. And I guess my question to you is, should this be something that all parents are responsible for? Do you think this would help cut down on gun violence in schools? If you
Well,
held the parents accountable.
yes. Like I think that if parents felt like they could also get in trouble for their child's actions, there would be more emphasis on selfishly, there'd be more emphasis on like, hey, don't do that because I'm gonna get fucked. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't, there's a reason why, like, kids stay in line. Like, there's a reason why my PlayStation doesn't get broken. You know what I mean? Because I'm very ultra sensitive about it, and the kids know don't touch daddy's PlayStation.
That's fair.
You know, we're like, don't touch the guitars. You know this, and it'd be the same with like, with I'm sure with some families and the guns, even though like yeah you can play with it, but like if you fuck around, I'm gonna go to jail. Nope,
Right.
But I to an extent I believe that should happen, and especially in this case because the writing on the wall was so egregious. It was so like, is this a joke? You didn't see this was coming?
Right.
Like everyone around the kid I saw a post that said like every adult in this kid's life has failed him. Every adult
Yeah.
that is in this kid's life. Just like blind eye. Huh?
And I wonder if it was just too much, like they never thought he'd do something like this, like they couldn't fathom somebody doing that,
Yeah.
or if it's just the pure, idea that you're just so blind to your own children.
Right.
Like you never think that your child would hurt. Like, we all have our kids and we put them on these pedestals and we never think or expect them to do wrong. But the reality is they're human beings
Yeah.
and they're learning and they're going to make mistakes. And a lot of that is they're representations of their environment a lot of the time, whether that be from their parents or their friends or their lack of friends, their
Yeah.
inability to socialize, which I would imagine this kid is probably a social reject for the most part, right? He has to be.
Yeah.
You never hear about Johnny Wonder, the starting quarterback, going to the school and shoot it up. It's always about like, oh look, there's
Introverted.
introverted,
Casted away.
yeah, castaway doesn't feel like they can connect. And I think in today's world, it's even more dangerous.
And he was
because-
trying to with his drawings.
right.
There
It's
was
a plea for
a
help.
I have a relevant story from when I was in, I think, like 7th grade.
Yeah.
It was a science class. We had a substitute teacher, and I fucking hated this substitute teacher with a passion. And like to the point, like, and she hated me too. It was fucking mutual. Like she was one of these like a career substituter. So like, we had a history
Yeah.
of kind of going at it. She didn't like me, I didn't like her. And it got to a point in the class where she was like, all right, Daniel, don't do the assignment. Just sit there and draw. Like, just don't give me any problems.
Right.
So I drew a picture of her in a tornado being controlled by like Satan or like the devil. And then the devil like had a speech bubble by it. It said something like "die, bitch,"
Oh my God, Dan. What?
Yeah, because I was just like, fuck this teacher. I'll draw something. I'll
I'll
you
draw
in a
her
tor-
dying.
I'll
Oh, I'm
draw you in a
sorry. Is that me
tornado.
holding your head, Teach?
Right. So, I did not. I drew this picture, and then at the end of the class, I put it in the trash, and it was the old It was the assignment I was supposed to have worked on, but I didn't do it.
Right.
So I threw it in the trash, and that's key. And then I left. Now the next day, my mom is called. I'm called to the office. We got a big problem here because the substitute teacher fished out my drawing and was like, he drew a picture of me dead or like being killed. And my mom shot the whole shit down. She was like, first of all, he threw it in the trash. It was never meant for you to see. You told him to draw it to shut his ass up. And like you got swept up in a tornado and it was the devil controlling it, not Daniel. So I don't know if I had drawn a gun and like me killing her, if that would have been a bigger deal, or
I mean, she's dying by a tornado by the devil. That is at your hand because you envision this image. I mean, like honestly, I don't like. I mean, that's pretty questionable, Dan. It's questionable.
I didn't get in trouble. I avoided all suspension and issues.
I told you about my gun experience at school, didn't I?
No.
So when I was like a sophomore, maybe a junior in high school, we had these word processors that you type on at school, and then they had a little digital screen, and it would save that, and you'd plug it into a computer, and then it would upload the format into a Word document.
So you could say that again?
They had these word processors that you would type on. They were these like digital word, but they had a small digital screen that you would type on, and it would show the lettering. and you could take them home to write reports if you didn't have a computer. This was
Oh,
before
okay.
laptops were like readily available, or tablets, right?
Right.
So you could type and then they'd plug it in, and then it would upload into a Word document.
Right.
So
Okay.
I pull one out of the closet to start typing up a report or whatever, and I turn it and I open it up, and there's a message on it that says something along the lines of, "I'm going to shoot up the school." And then it has a name. So I'm like, well, this is not comfortable. Columbine, right? Because it's the year 2000, maybe 2001. So I go up to the teacher and I said, "Hey, I found this. It has a student's name in it. The student, I don't know. I don't even know what he looks like, but I know the name sounds familiar. I've heard it before." So I hand it to the teacher, and she's like, "Okay, thank you, Kody, for giving this to me." And I don't hear anything about it. It just kind of disappears, right?
Yeah.
So then, like a day or two go by, and I haven't heard anybody. Nobody's come to talk to me about me handing this in. And I'm in another class, and I tell my other teacher about this thing. And there's some other students that are listening. They hear it, and like other people are asking me questions about it. I'm like, "Yeah, I heard it. Like, I don't know if it was real. Like, somebody could have just typed it up. Like, it just didn't seem. It was just randomly in this thing, and it gave a date, by the way."
You started spooking people, dude.
So people got scared.
I'd be scared too.
Yeah, so people got scared. Cops were roaming the halls at the school. The principal called me in the office and said, "Kody, you're causing a panic. Do you know what they apparently they went to this kid's house. They searched his house. They looked through all of his stuff.
They went to
all of
his
this stuff. They destroyed this kid. Like, he's like emotionally, and they're blaming me." Now, I am like 16 or 17 years old, and I don't like, they're saying that I wrote this message. And
What?
I'm like not fully grasping that they're blaming me, saying that I wrote this message. And my mom's sitting next to me, and she's furious. And she's furious at them. And I said, and I was like, I asked another teacher about it, asking her if I should talk to the principal about it, because I never heard anything after I handed it off to this other teacher. I never heard anything.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you would think they'd come and talk to me about, like, "Kody, can you give us the story on this?" So the principal's blaming me, claiming me that I am causing this panic. And the reality is like the way they handled it, like looking now that I'm like, 37 years old.
Yeah.
And I look back at it, like, I feel bad for this poor kid that, they went through stuff. I don't even know who this kid is now, but I was the guy they blamed for causing the panic. But ultimately, it's like all you had to do was come and find me and ask me questions about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to cause a panic. I was curious because I was a little unsure about things.
That's a leap to connect those dots for them to be like, "We think you did it." And it's also poorly handled in the communication between the principal and you from the start.
Right.
If you had shown that to the teacher, and then the teacher took it to the principal, and then immediately you got into the principal, and the principal was like, "We're gonna handle this, but you need to not speak about this."
Right.
You wouldn't have spoken about it, and that would have thwarted the panic.
No, and I would have been scared out of my mind if they said, "You can't talk to anybody about this." I would have been like, "Okay, just tell me the date, and I won't be at school that day."
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
they
remember
failed
they
to
had cops
act.
that were undercover. They were dressed like regular people, just roaming the hall, and everybody's like, "Who the fuck are these old guys walking the hall?" Like, it was so
shit.
like, but it was more of just a means.
And then you're walking down the hall like, "I don't know, man. Found a computer and said I was gonna shoot it up. So we'll
I don't know what
see."
to tell you. All I did was find this. That's it. All I did was find it, and I turned it in.
You basically became the town crier.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Damn, that's intense.
It was intense. I was like, I was sitting there in the principal's office bawling because I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I did the right thing. I gave you what you wanted. I'm not trying to cause an outrage. Like, the principal's like, "Do you know how many calls I've taken today?" And I'm just like, I'm like a 16, 17-year-old kid. I don't fucking know how many calls you take. I don't even know why you're talking to me about this. I mean, I know why you're talking to me about it, but I don't understand why you're so aggressive to me, as if I'm not
Don't
the one that wrote this message, you know?
in those situations, don't you wish that like you could like take your 37-year-old mind now and like go back into there and just fucking destroy them, you know?
Yes. Yes,
And be like, well, then
absolutely.
you should have acted. You should have talked to me ahead of time before you let me go back to class. I didn't know I couldn't talk about it. I found a
Right.
computer.
Right. I found
That's
this
it.
computer. And then I went to another teacher asking them what I should do because I hadn't heard anything from anybody. And
Yeah.
it was a trusted teacher. And they were other students sitting around and they were asking questions. I was curious. They were curious. Like,
You covered all the
listen,
bases.
I mean, like, I covered all the bases for a 16 or 17-year-old kid. I
Yeah.
turned in what was a potential threat and nobody followed up with me. And that's that. I mean, and mind you, that was 20 years ago, and I might not remember it the way it happened, but I didn't write that message. And I
I wonder
did
how that
not.
I wonder how that goes down today. Like if that all happened today, like would school get canceled that day and then like
Well, I
you
mean, to
and
be
the other
fair,
kid are like
these,
indefinite expulsion for the time being and
I don't know
until
how, I don't know how they would justify an expulsion to me. Like,
I think
unless
today you
there's,
have to overreact. You
oh,
have to.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's too, it's
They'd close the
more
school.
often than not, like, you have to overreact, but like, think about this Michigan situation. Kids drawing images of teachers he's killing in the pictures, students
Jesus.
he's killing in the pictures. And what's the overreaction? You need to, it's probably best you pull your kids out. Parents are like, nah, he's okay. Same day, gun in bag.
There's
It's
got to
just,
be some kind of like code of conduct
yeah.
to where like if you draw, you know, I don't know, some sort of like language where it's like, hey man, if we have a sneaking suspicion that like you might bring a gun to school, we have every right to tell you not to come to school.
Well, yeah, there'd be a lot of people up in arms with that kind of ruling though too. But
Yeah.
I think about like I just think about my son being in that school.
Oh, it's
You
I
know,
think you think about it
I,
every day, man. I think
heart
about it every day.
heartbroken when you hear about these people that lost their kids because so much life lost. Anyway,
Yeah.
real shame. Tough world. God, be safe
True
out there.
crime. Dude, I had an interesting outing with the family this past Saturday. And I want to shed some light on a game that I'm calling it right now. December, what is it? December 7th? December 7th, 2021. This game is sweeping the nation. It's so much fun. It's a blast. And it's called Bino. Have you heard of Bino?
How do you spell?
BIN with the tilde on the end. And then HO. They're called Bino boards.
Oh no, I have
Anyway,
not played Bino.
well, you gotta play. You gotta play. I have a board. My sister got me a board during the pandemic and like for my birthday last year. And it's like finger soccer where you take a turn, you flick the ball, and you
Okay.
you try to like aim it through these pegs and score a goal. And it's a
Okay.
turn-based game. There's rules, there's regulations, there's yellow cards, there's red cards, and it's so much fun. You can customize your board with like the logo in the center. You can change out your goals. You can change out like if you get a red card, you got to take a player away and like opens up the game. It is like
It's good.
I'm obsessed with it. But anyway, on Saturday I heard about this tournament, Bino tournament going down in OC, kind of near Disneyland, and I went down there, man, and met some cool people from like a couple different like social like Bino board clubs. Shout out to SoCal Bino and Bino OC. Um, and I got to the semifinals, man. I guess you could say I'm a pro now. You know, won some games.
What?
I urge everyone to come see me, and I'll kick your ass in Bino.
I don't even know what to say right now.
I'm like,
Bina?
I'm so good at this thing. I want to play you. I want to play everybody. I brought it to like a work event at like this brewery, and like I've never shown this game to somebody, and they've been like, I don't know, I don't like it. It's addictive.
Okay. So
We gotta
you
play.
think I'm gonna like it?
Yeah, I think like if I had this, if we had this game in college, like beer pong was a very dominant game in college at my school at Frostburg State. If we had this shit, man, we'd
You
be
think
having.
this is bigger than beer pong?
I think it could be. It's so much fun.
Get out of here! Bigger than beer pong,
Bino, I'm saying it.
dude.
December 7th, 2021.
Your ass has been drinking. There's no
B-
bigger
Bino,
than beer pong.
the
Nothing,
Bino
dude.
board is better than beer pong.
Beer pong is timeless. Children learn to play beer pong at a very young age, so that when they get to college, they can compete with other kids. That's the bottom line. Can't believe that. Like, give me a break, brother.
You're gonna love it, man. You didn't play at Maddox's birthday? I had it out.
I wasn't at Maddox's birthday, was I?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were out of town or something like that. There was some weird. We just had the baby or something. When was Maddox's birthday?
April 30th or around then.
No, dude, that was like
He had like an auction or something.
I had
Oh
an
no,
auction.
auction school.
No, I had an auction. It was April. We had a Hollywood auction. I was unavailable that weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
How I remember, I don't know.
Well, we gotta play. This shit is so much fun.
You're going down to Orange County to be a Bino champ. So,
dude, I got to the semis. Everybody was super cool. The tournament was like there was a cash prize and like it was just good vibes, man. Got some pizza. Was that Rosa's Pizza?
did you call it za with the guys? Were you just like, hey guys, want some za?
Yeah, we got to get some za before we start flicking.
Let's get some za, bros.
Dude, seriously, flip cup, uh, beer pong, it's dead, man. It's all Bino, bro. Bino boards. Let's go. We're not even sponsored.
You saw the people selling far away from home tickets on eBay for like $250, right?
Are you kidding me?
To see this movie?
What?
Yeah, the new Spider-Man.
Why that much?
$150 opening night because they all sold out. People went online, selling them like hotcakes. Hotcakes being sold. Some of the finest hotcakes these people have ever eaten. They're spending $150 to be able to watch Spider-Man opening night.
Doesn't it come out like Christmas Day?
17th.
December 17th.
Yep, December 17th is the date that it comes out. And
I don't understand the hoopla around this one. Is it just because Garfield and Maguire are in it?
I mean, I don't think it's just because that. You're also dealing with villains from old franchises that are now coming into play. And,
Yeah.
who knows what's going to be in this movie? It's a long movie. It's like a little over 2.5 hours, right? Didn't we say this last week?
They need to bring my girl back.
Who's your girl?
Kirsten, man.
Oh, God. What?
You got a problem with my girl?
That's your girl?
I love Kirsten Dunst.
That's your girl?
Yeah.
Of all the ladies in the world, your girl is Kirsten Dunst?
I have many.
I can't get over this name. Kirsten Dunst. Every time I hear that, I always think of what's his name? Dunstan Checks In. You know, the monkey that lived in the hotel. Every time I hear her last name, I just think of Dunstan Checks In.
You've got to get over that.
I can't. And every time you say it, Dan, I'm just like, well,
I mean,
it doesn't work for me.
It's Kirsten Dunst, Susan Sarandon, Scarlett Johansson, Elvira. I mean,
okay.
What's her name? Elizabeth Olsen. These are my girls.
Elizabeth Olsen. That's right. I forget you were a fan of Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, they're They're the best.
Hmm.
You know. So wait, they're selling. I don't. I just like
I buy
this
the
is tough
ticket.
for
I
me
put it up
because
on
it's like
eBay. Somebody
see it
bids on it.
tomorrow. See
Yeah.
it the see it the next day. I think that this is brought on by, and it pisses me off too, but like all these like news outlets, how they're so quick to like jump the gun and spoil the movie so that they get the click. That's the problem. Is that all these people are trying to go see it when it's the day it opens so that they don't get spoiled.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they don't want to be spoiled. Just don't put it in your search queues or don't look for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
saw
my approach.
I saw a meme that was like it was like a poster or something and it had the billing on it and it was like starring uh shit, what's Spider-Man's name? Tom Holland.
Peter Parker?
Yeah, they were like starring Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and then the bottom of it said somebody getting fired.
For
Well,
sure.
I like this opens up a larger question of um how can a film keep keep its secrets anymore? How cool would it have been to just have not known that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in this film? How amazing would that be to have been sitting in that theater watching this movie thinking it's Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch and another Spider-Man film and then poof, Toby's in this motherfucker?
And then just be like, what? This is for really happening right now?
They
This is
brought
really.
they brought Andrew Garfield in? Like you'd cream your pants, man.
Yeah,
That'd be
it'd be a big deal.
that'd be yo, if fucking Empire Strikes Back came out today, we'd all know that Darth Vader is Luke's dad. All of us.
Well, let's be
They'd
honest.
spoil the
The
shit
next
out of that.
Yeah, but let's be honest, the next day everybody knew.
Right.
I mean, the next day Empire came out, everybody's like, "Oh, did you guys all know that
But did they
Luke?"
though? Cause like that had to have been by like phone and by like school, not by like news media. It wouldn't be like the paper wouldn't write that. You
Okay. You
like
don't think so? You
you'd
don't
get
think the
like an
paper would
like
write
a
it?
monthly issue. You'd have a month basically before that information gets to you
I don't know, man.
of some kind of
I
fan
mean,
magazine.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there, maybe, but I don't know. I think it's big news. Like it's gonna generate news. So I don't know.
How do you keep a secret in Hollywood today?
You can't. I mean, everything's too interconnected. You have people sign crazy NDAs and hope you can enforce them, but the reality is the minute something leaks, it leaks, right?
Yeah. I mean,
And
there were
honestly, like if you're Disney or you're Marvel or you're whomever, you leak it yourself because you want to control the message.
it's like nerds can't have nice things and be surprised anymore. Because there's some fucking basement dweller going frame by frame of the trailer and being like, "Well, I saw a hand and it looked as though it was Andrew Garfield's suit because of the fingertips of the glove." You know?
Sure. I don't know. I think people want to know stuff before they go in. I'm that guy. I'm a sucker. I don't like to be surprised.
Oh, that's interesting. Good shout, Tony. He said the best kept secret recently was Luke at the end of Mando season 2. I'd
Oh,
agree
that's
with that.
true. Yeah, that's a good call. You're absolutely right.
I'd
Yeah, that
agree
is a
with
good
that.
call. Mando season 2, Luke, and then not just that it was, but how they did it. You remember how the internet just blew up? They're like, "Oh man, we can do deep fakes better than that."
Yeah,
And it's like, it's not the point. It's not the
yeah.
point, man.
Also, like Baby Yoda's name.
Yeah, Grogu was.
Like,
Yeah, they've done a
what?
good job of keeping those secrets, haven't they?
Yeah, keeping that tight.
Although
Yeah,
they've.
I mean, what can't be spoiled these days? It's I get so mad. I'm like commenting now on like these news outlets where they're like, "Here's why Toby Andrew Garfield's in the movie." It's like, dude, why? Fuck you. I want to go
It's
see it.
true. It's true. What are you gonna do?
Just makes me sad all day.
Well, Dan, thoughts, feelings, emotions?
Um,
None.
did you hear about this freaking dude
What
who
guy?
the Australian man who claims he invented Bitcoin?
I heard about this. The guy that said him and a partner invented Bitcoin, and he ended up getting what, $50 billion in Bitcoin or something like that.
Yeah, he won a massive legal fight worth tens of billions of dollars. Craig Wright.
I mean, I hope he knows the password to all of that Bitcoin, that wallet that has all the Bitcoin.
That's just crazy, man.
It's bonkers. It's so much money. And cryptocurrency, I just don't know where I stand with it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just not, I think it's interesting and there's a lot of speculation behind it, but there's nothing meaty behind it yet. And we'll see what happens. I don't
it's
know. I mean, I guess digital currency makes sense. It does make sense in the world we're moving into. So, whether that's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin or, the great Bambino coin, they're always coming up with dumb names for all these stupid coins.
yeah.
And, I haven't seen one of these fucking coins. I want to see a coin. All I see is just, my bank account going empty because I put money in something stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like the bigger gotta pay to play type thing now, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I just can't believe that. Like, is this just the biggest bubble that's ever gonna pop? You
I
know?
think that
Or are we all dummies?
I think there's something to that, Dan. I think crypto has pushed the price up in everything because we have new money. People have money that they didn't have before. And the speculation on it has just increased wealth crazy amounts. And whether that money stays there, I don't know. I mean, if it was me and I made $50 million because I bought a coin early, I pull that out of Bitcoin and reinvest it in something that I know actually has value and
Yeah.
will provide me with some kind of solid return over, 10 or 15 years. That's
Is
not to say Bitcoin won't. It's just, the difference between owning something like, I don't know, Apple stock is that Apple is going to continue to grow as a company because they're going to develop things, they're going to create things. There's things behind it. There's some physical element to it. But that's just like maybe me being pre-millennial.
is the thing with Bitcoin that like they don't just like make them. It's like there's a finite number of
Yeah, I
Bitcoin,
mean
period.
that's like anything else. That's kind of one of the big elements to it, right? Like, there's only so many Bitcoin that you can mine, and at one point, like I guess we're apparently halfway through the Bitcoin mining, and one day, and they have a date as to when all of it's going to be mined. There's a date out there, and then when it's mined, that's that. That's all the Bitcoin that's out there,
How the hell
and
do you mine it?
it's running algorithms that search out through like I mean actually honestly I don't fucking know. I'm not even gonna try and explain what I think I know because I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know how they mine it. I do know that I can install a program on my computer right now and my video card will do the mining for me. I know I can do that.
And it just tries to find them?
It does something where it processes some mathematical computation and yeah, there's something weird that's ingrained in the language of a certain program that allows it to like find it or something like that. I don't even know. I don't know. I can't even like that's the other problem with crypto too is this crypto means cryptic, confusing, lost,
It's
whatever.
just bonkers to me. And like it's one of the first things that I'm just sort of like I know it's like valuable. I know that that maybe it's a great investment.
Do you
I
know
just
that
like
it's valuable? Because
I
there's no
just
value
well, I
behind
mean,
it aside from
I
what people determine that they say the value is.
right. I know it's valuable today, I should have said. But like it's one of these things where I'm like I'm probably all right missing the boat, which I think I've already have. And I just don't understand it, and I don't care to understand fully.
I think a lot of people feel that way. And I think that's why digital currency will have a real problem being a
Yeah.
mainstream option, is because people don't like, they understand cash. And I don't see a digital currency that's not overseen or run by some kind of central government bank. Because I'll be honest with you, the United States government does not want decentralized.
Yeah.
They do not want a decentralized like monetary system, because they
Yeah.
lose complete control over the money supply if that's the case. And
Right.
they want to manage that. And I don't see how a Bitcoin, uh, I don't see how a Bitcoin competes with a dollar coin, like a US digital coin. I don't see
Yeah.
it. Like if the United States puts one together and they say, here it is, and they keep transactions costs low, there's a finite amount. The Federal Reserve can manage how much goes in and out. No,
Right.
like there's no way that Bitcoin competes. I just don't see it. I don't. I mean, the blockchain's so nice because people can track money. The United States government would like it because then could they'd be able to track all the money. Be really easy for them to know where money goes in and out of.
Yeah.
You know if it goes into some overseas bank account, you know who's using it, or at least you have an idea. With Bitcoin, you don't know exactly. They're
Yeah.
like code names, but you can get a sense of who's buying and selling. Anyway,
I remember listening to podcasts like years ago where people were getting like their like half of their paycheck in Bitcoin, that sort of thing.
right.
And I'm like, how do you even set that up? How like I'm just so gone on it. And like the NFT stuff, like I don't get it. Especially me, I'm like a tangible collector of things, and to have a digital version of something is I'm only now like on board with like digital copies of movies.
Well, the NFT is interesting in that like you take it's I like the NFT idea. I think it's kind of neat. I think it's neat that I can claim that this is an original and everybody else
Hmm.
has copies. But
Right.
this is the original. I'm able to link that to say that this is the original thing. So the NFT is essentially that connective piece to say that's this original digital content. So, for example, say I took the movie Pulp Fiction. This was used by Tarantino, which was kind of an interesting piece. And you can go in and take a still frame from Pulp Fiction,
Hmm.
and Tarantino could apply an NFT to it, say this is the original frame in the digital world.
Right.
That's the one. Everybody else makes copies of that. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Tony's right. I guarantee Dan gets a Funko NFT. You're absolutely right. If they do, and I do not doubt Funko's working on a way to do Funko NFTs. Actually, I bet you can Google search that right now, and I bet you find fucking Funko NFTs.
What's the point? I can't share it. I can't
Funko
show it.
Digital Pop, everything you need to know, July 2021. Holy cow! Funko's announced a new series of digital pops available August 21st. Wow. That's interesting.
It's not as cool because and I need a physical pop. I need a physical toy.
They'll still send you a physical pop, won't they?
And then you get the NFT of it.
Yeah. So currently at Julian's Auctions, where I work, we just announced, it was on the news today. The AFP broke it. We are doing an auction at the end of January with a Musicares, which is the Grammys arm, nonprofit arm. And one of the items we're selling is a signed Keith Richards guitar. And then with that, you get a NFT of Keith Richards signing the guitar.
That's cool.
So
It's
it's
just like
like,
a video clip.
that's it. Yeah, absolutely. It's attached to some kind of blockchain some kind of coin, likely Ethereum, that they're able to like link that to say this is the original. You have the original NFT. I mean, I think there's a lot of money in it. I think it's overvalued right now. There is a lot of money in it, but I think it's all kind of overvalued because it's really new.
Sure.
Anyway, I mean, I think it's great for artists. If you're an artist that does a physical painting and you said, well, I can't take that physical painting into the digital world, but I want to own the original digital version of it. Here's that option.
Yeah.
Or if you're a digital artist, I have the original digital artwork that I did. Here it is.
Right. And would that make it easier for like copyright claims when people like steal your designs and go on like TeePublic or Etsy?
I mean, if it's attached to you already and you're able to kind of show that, I don't know if that helps, but like Picasso never had any arguments with people about whether or not like he knew what was his, right? So, if you're looking, there might be something down the road with NFTs where there's copyright claims.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I don't know if that's the case. Like, just because you own the NFT doesn't mean you own the distribution or the right to sell. What I mean by that is, like, if I'm a photographer and I take photos, I can sell those photos for you to use for other things. Just because you have an NFT I don't know if that necessarily means that you legally have the right to give people permission to use that NFT. That's what you're talking about. I don't know if that's the way it works, to be honest with you. It's an interesting question, though.
Cool, man. Well,
here we are. This is it.
Here we are, folks. We're at the end of another one. 275 of them.
Yeah,
we got now.
I was telling my wife tonight, no matter what happens with the Dan and Kody podcast, my son will have over 275 hours of audio of my points of view from the age of 32 to 37. He's able to keep that. He'll always be able to listen. He'll know.
As long as someone keeps paying monthly for a Simplecast.
No, I have all of them.
Oh yeah, you have all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, absolutely. So
it's great. Yeah, I think if nothing else, like
Tony's right. I'm going to sell them as Kody NFTs.
Let's go.
We could sell a podcast. We could sell a Dan and Kody podcast as an NFT. Anyway,
can we do that?
We could. Yeah,
and it's like could. you own this episode. You can choose to share it with whoever you want or not.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, maybe not. I like to hold on to my audio. Anyway.
I think about that a lot too. And the same with the Melrose pod. Me and Jenny were like, it's going to be cool or not cool for them to like hear their parents talk about Melrose Place long after we're dead.
Sure. I think Melrose Place is interesting. I think our conversations are a little more, a little broader. We can talk about a bunch of different topics that, I think about if I had access to hear my dad or even my mom at this age kind of talk about the social aspects of the world, I'd be interested to hear that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because people's points of views change over time, and maybe their worldview doesn't change very much, but it's always interesting to see.
Well, future Moxie and future Maddox, Fitz and Seamus, we love you. Have fun.
We do. Amen. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening and laughing with the Dan and Kody podcast. Our email is danandcodypodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We are on Instagram at Dan Kody Podcast. Check out our website, danandcody.com, and you can contribute to the podcast by going to patreon.com/Dan Kody Podcast.
Subscribe, bitch!
Everybody play the tough guy and shit. All right.
Ooh.